Daniel Hashi here with Hashi Trades. So I just want to go over my watch list basically for the next week, but starting today, leading up into next week, of course, which is going to be the inauguration of Joe Biden. That could be a crazy day in the markets. Who knows what surprises America and the American public is going to bring us on that day? I honestly don't know. And if I had a crystal ball that was accurate, to be completely honest, I'd be very, very scared to look into it because we just don't know. I mean, 2021's already started so crazy, so who knows? So, number one on my watch list is Facebook. Facebook has suspended Trump from using the platform, but also so has Twitter. I do think from a technical perspective, aside from the news, it looks very bearish. So I want to show you here that basically there's not really any support until it gets down to 245, 244 level. Now let's have a look at Twitter. WTR, right? And here I am again. Gotta edit my thing so I don't disappear. Twitter, it looks like it's sort of making a higher low, but it did have a bullish candle. It could recover or it could go down further to where there might be some support here, 42 or even lower, 39. I honestly, my bias for Facebook and Twitter is a little bit bearish, but I'm not going to really make any moves until the market opens. I'm going to see the direction that it chooses. Zoom is interesting because it's actually had, sorry about that little pop-up over there. It's actually had some investment interest by ARK Invest and Kathy Wood. So that's interesting as well, but they did just do an offering. So that's showing that they're trying to raise money. There's a little bit of dilution, so that's bearish. But the fact that ARK Invest is really adding a lot of Zoom to their portfolio, that's bullish. So there's some mixed news there. I definitely have it on my watch list, but not 100% sure on anything. Tesla, of course, I want to see, is Tesla going to go more towards 1,000 or is it going to correct again towards the $800 level? And they also have earnings towards the end of the month, so that would be interesting. I feel like knowing Tesla, it could continue to run up into the earnings, especially if it beats earnings, and it might even continue after that. Okay, so the China stocks I'm going to be looking at are NIO and XPEP. China stocks in the EV sector has been really hot lately, so I want to see, okay, can NIO push past its current level? Can XPEP push past its current level? I think XPEP looks really overextended, so let me show you that here. I'm going to go to the 5-day, 5-minute. This is a huge green candle here. Not saying it cannot go higher, because its all-time high is 74. It definitely can, but I do believe, in my own opinion, it has a lot of opportunity and room to pull back. So I want to see if that would happen. Is it going to go down to the 50s? Can it pull back to 46? We will see. But there's nothing at all, truthfully speaking, that is bearish about this massive green candle. Now let's look at NIO. So, zooming in a little, hit some resistance. There's wicks on both sides. Just have to see here. It's holding the 62s, but yesterday it was holding the 63s and then gave them up. So, we have to see. I feel like it can pull back, and that's kind of my bias. I'm going to say I'm leaning a little more towards bearish with this one, but we don't know yet. And nothing to do really until the market opens. Plug, another one in the EV sector, because they have like these spark plugs and the batteries and all this stuff. Okay, it's running, but I think it's really overextended. I would really think that this is looking pretty rough. It does have, of course, the potential to continue, but I feel like a pullback is imminent, and that's what I'd be looking for at market open. So that's my opinion on Plug. Another stock I meant for the long term, because of legislation that's coming up and like the cannabis industry growing, I was talking about this last week. I should have bought at 45. It's already at 50. And I'm like, oh, why didn't I just go in? I swear. Sometimes, honestly, sometimes when I buy it, it doesn't do what I expected. But then when I'm not buying it and I said I was going to do it, it does exactly what I wanted it to do. So that is such as life. It is what it is. I feel like sometimes the stock market just wants to, ow, smack me. I hate it sometimes. It's horrible. Anyway, another one that's really big in ARK Invest folder, and I apologize if this video is kind of crap because I didn't put the settings to float myself on top, is TAK. That's Takeda Pharmaceuticals. So ARK Invest has a pretty big holding in it, and I find that interesting. Volume-wise, there's hardly anything there. But I think it's an interesting fact that this is in their portfolio. So I'm just going to keep it on my watch list, but I really probably would prefer to go for, if I had to choose one or the other, GRWG. GRWG, yes. That's it instead of TAK, because I personally believe in what GRWG is doing. And honestly, according to this dude, I just read this article today, Luke Longo, so he is Investor Place Senior Investment Analyst. He wrote an article on the website, which I will link down below, about GRWG, the stock, basically saying it's like the Home Depot of like cannabis growth, because they provide tools and all these different things that help the growth of cannabis. So basically it's, yeah, as we said, the Home Depot of cannabis growth. So I think it has a lot of long-term potential. DoorDash has some news. It was running up on that. It's expanding into Japan. Now, I'm kind of wondering, and I do need to do more research on this, but I do believe it could be an instance of buy the rumor, sell the news. Japan already has their delivery game on point. About the whole Japan thing. I did a little research, which I should have done before making this video, but I was on a time crunch. And currently, Uber Eats is actually in Japan. Not everywhere, but in quite a few major cities. And they are providing a competition to this other thing called Damekan, which is actually in the process of being sort of parented by Line, the #1 messaging app in Southeast Asia and Japan. But now, as I said before, DoorDash saw an opportunity to expand into Japan, and according to Nikkei.com, only 5% of all the restaurants in Japan have a delivery service to deliver their food. Now, given the current conditions of what's happening in the world and lockdowns and coronavirus or COVID-19, whatever you like to call it, or Rona, the need for home delivery and food delivery is a lot higher. And I think even after things get to normal, a lot of people might think twice about eating out. So the market in Japan is not completely saturated yet. And we've got some companies kind of fighting to get that foot in the door. So Uber's already got their foot in the door. DoorDash wants to get there. And we've got Line trying to come to the table too. So there you have it. I stand corrected. Just got slapped with that humility stick. Thank you. Back to the regularly scheduled programming. I know here in Korea, we have Yogyo. So, like, if DoorDash was trying to be like, hey, knock knock, it's DoorDash. Like, we want to, put our company into your country and bring it here and expand. We'd be like, nah, we don't need you. We got Yogyo. Get out of here. So actually, I'm gonna figure out, I will edit that, what a company that's already doing that in Japan is. I know there is one, but I don't know if DoorDash could really, enter this market. Clearly they're trying to, but I feel like Japan and Korea already have that taken care of, and a lot of other countries in Asia, we've been delivering food before you, DoorDash. I don't know if we need you, but I'm interested to see how it goes, of course. So on the watch list, another one that got a lot of attention last week was Skills, SKLZ. Skills is basically they're doing a kind of a payment system for like online gaming. I think it's mostly focused on esports, so they're sort of trying to make themselves have the monopoly of the payment system. So I think that that's basically their MO. But it got a lot of analyst upgrades and investor attention last week, so that's how it ended up getting on everyone's radar. And then also with the upgrades, and there's a little bit of FOMO. Gotta love that FOMO. Very interesting. Now, the last one I'm going to cover today, I've been really burning through them, is this company, CCIV. Now, CCIV is sort of in penny stock world, but basically they might be acquiring through a SPAC this other company that wants to do their IPO given the SPAC structure, which if you don't know what that is, I actually have a video about it that I will link down below as well. Excuse me. And basically they were running because they are rumored to maybe be helping the company Lucid, which is an electric vehicle manufacturer based in California that's about to make its debut on the market. They might be the ones that are acquiring them. So that's pretty big news, and Lucid is supposed to be a major competitor to Tesla because their battery is actually supposed to last a little bit longer mileage wise than Tesla. So if that happens, that would be huge. Excuse me, I did not drink enough water today, so I apologize for the excessive amount of throat clearing. And yeah, so we went over Facebook, we went over Twitter, we went over Zoom, Tesla, NIO, and XPEV, the Chinese electric vehicle companies, Plug, which I think is overextended, how I missed my great entry for a long-term investment in GRWG, TAK, trying to figure out, okay, what value does ARK Invest see in it, DoorDash expanding into Japan, Skills, and CCIV. So let me know any thoughts, questions, or comments you have down below. And of course, I will be linking that information as I mentioned. Thanks for watching and have a fabulous Wednesday in the markets. Bye.